What happened while we were away, brought to you by On the Cusp. It appears we could be on the cusp of a major breakthrough when it comes to the conflict in Ukraine. On the heels of the historic meeting in Alaska between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, another meeting is taking place today at the White House, featuring Trump, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, French President Emmanuel Macron, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, and a few others. On the way back from his meeting with Putin, Trump said this meeting was great, and if everything works out with today's meeting, another meeting with Putin could be scheduled soon. Secretary of State Marco Rubio went through the car wash of Sunday morning news shows and said when it comes to Putin, the only way out is through.
The red carpet, the warm handshake, that President Trump simply lost that Putin gained there just by being on the world stage and walking down a red carpet with the president. Your reaction to that?
Well, I mean, critics of President Trump are always going to find something to criticize. You don't even pay attention to it anymore. But I will tell you this, Putin is already on the world stage. He's already on the world stage. The guy's conducting a full-scale war in Ukraine. He's already on the world stage. He has the world's largest tactical nuclear arsenal in the world and the second largest strategic nuclear arsenal in the world. He's already on the world stage. When I hear people say that, oh, it elevates him, well, all we do is talk about Putin all the time. All the media's done is talk about Putin all the time for the last 4 or 5 years. That doesn't mean he's right about the war. That doesn't mean he's justified about the war. Put all that aside. It means you're not going to have a peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine. You're not going to end a war between Russia and Ukraine without dealing with Putin.
Oh, by the way, while all this is going on, South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham is reportedly teaming up with Democrat Senator Richard Blumenthal to designate Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism. Moving on, this video went viral over the weekend showing a driver of an 18-wheeler tractor trailer making an illegal U-turn at highway speeds on the Florida Turnpike just last week. As the driver made the illegal U-turn, a minivan smashed into the trailer, obliterating it and killing 3 people in the van. For those of you listening, the driver of the truck, wearing a turban, possesses a facial expression of slight annoyance both during and after the incident. The driver was later identified as 35-year-old Harjinder Singh, an Indian national who crossed the U.S. southern border illegally in California back in 2018, was granted a commercial driver's license by California Governor Gavin Newsom's Department of Motor Vehicles. Since 2018, Singh has enjoyed a bureaucratic black hole of procedure and paperwork after he was given deportation orders back during the first Trump administration, but claimed he feared for his life back in India. Singh has been charged with 3 counts of vehicular homicide and has an ICE detainer. Checking in on Cairo, Egypt over the weekend. Just kidding, that's Dearborn, Michigan over the weekend at a Shia Muslim rally featuring around 40,000 attendees. Learning the dark tongue of Mordor today. Today's phrase is, how's that Constitution doing, America? Back to Trump, who posted this on Truth Social this morning, saying he's planning on leading a movement to ban mail-in voting and voting machines. He said, in part, quote, Democrats are virtually unelectable without using this completely disproven mail-in scam. Elections can never be honest with mail-in ballots and voting, and everybody, in particular the Democrats, knows this. Texas Republicans have reissued arrest warrants for absconding Democrat members who apparently changed their minds and decided not to show up for a special session last week. The title of this movie is Arrest Warrant 2, Warrant Harder. Reports indicate Democrats are expected to actually, for real this time, show up today. In New York, Governor Kathy Hochul has pardoned 13 illegal aliens to shield them from ICE deportation, including a guy from Laos who murdered a man in 1988 in Brooklyn and was convicted in 1990. In South Carolina, married father of 4, attorney and Democrat gubernatorial candidate William Mullins McLeod is facing calls from his own party to step down from the gubernatorial race he only entered just last week after video emerged of his bizarre arrest back in May.
And Alan, you dumb I know you're not good. You do stupid.
Later on in that video, that Democrat candidate for South Carolina governor can be heard calling himself God and making other bizarre statements. According to police report, McLeod was arrested late at night in Charleston one day back in May and showed signs consistent with use of stimulants. And finally, new this morning, MSNBC is rebranding. It's no longer going to be called MSNBC. Instead, it's MS Now, which stands for My Source, News, Opinion, World. Check out that logo. Definitely a rebrand. And that's what happened while we were away.